This is an interesting character right here. Sean Brady, a trans athlete. You know, Brittany Vaughn began that here at New Line, kind of leading the charge for trans athletes. And Sean Brady is somebody who's inspired by that. They actually, her and Brittany had a rivalry for a little while. They were supposed to fight in Rough and Rowdy not long ago.
Summer looks noticeably bigger than Brittany, though. Yeah.
And
it'd be a tough fight for Brittany.
That fight fell through, and now they're like best friends. So
are they? Well,
they're very close.
As they should be, right?
Yeah, because Brittany normally fights at 135, if I'm not mistaken. This is 158, nearly basically 160.
Yeah, it was a strange matchup, but it ended up falling through. That might have been the reason. I think Brittany was going to move up and fight her.
Well, we'll see Brittany later, man. She's a heck of a fighter.
And we've seen Brady Bunch compete in Rough and Rowdy before. She's 2-1-0.
Nice.
And then we're going to see Lionell James stepping into the ring. Lionel's a guy I've been watching for a few years now. First time I ever saw him was at Tough Man in Huntington. I actually scouted him. He was a guy I saw a lot of potential in. And you need to come fight for us. And he has a couple of times. We saw him against Lucas Spalding that we saw coaching earlier tonight. He took a TKO loss in that, but he's so tough. Lionel's a guy who's very athletic, very game. He'll fight anybody. He's 8-7. He's had a tough record because he's taken tough fights.
And that's, 15 fights. I mean, it sounds like he's fighting all the time. He doesn't care who he fights, and you got to appreciate people like that. In this day and age where people pick fights all the time and they're offered fights and they turn them down for this reason or that reason.
You see that all the time. People want an easy fight.
Exactly.
People don't want a hard fight. They don't want a challenge. They want to look good.
Yes. And it's the worst, in MMA because every time somebody sees that somebody has a wrestling background, they tend to turn the fights down. And
well, just to mention a few guys he's fought, like I say, Lucas Spalding, but Justin Sampson as well. Justin Sampson is one of the best boxers in West Virginia.
There's one boxer I'm really excited to see start getting in here, Roman Belcher, undefeated right now, 3-0, huge prospect. So hopefully coming in this next year, we're going to get to see him here fighting for New Line.
That's one amazing thing. We've got so many new faces coming out. Our roster is constantly growing. That last card, there were a ton of new faces. This one as well. And as this roster builds, it's just more and more exciting match.
Absolutely. Summer's having a lot of conversations back there.
Yeah, talking to Tucker Lambert there in their corner.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure this is the first time they've worked together. It's an interesting thing. We've got these coaches that come here, show up to help out these fighters who are coming alone. And that's a hard thing.
That is very hard.
Travel in to an opponent's home state. And then you've got a guy like Tucker Lambert, though. Tucker's always in Brittany's corner as well, always helping Brittany Vaughn out.
Yes,
last several fights he's been cornering Brittany, too. Brittany said he's worked out a game plan with her for her fight today, so you got to give it up to Tucker Lambert. A lot of pro boxing experience there as well.
I mean, it literally seems like they're going over the game plan right now. Like, I'm watching him and she's saying, hey, I'm going to do this. He's like, keep your hands up. That's interesting to be in the ring and actually be doing the game plan right then.
It's wild because that's the first time she's talked to her corner.
Exactly.
Like it's very, it's a unique situation. Let's see how well it works out.
Yeah.
She seems very determined, very focused.
Absolutely.
Ever since I've talked to her, coming in here, meeting her, like she's very determined to show what her skill set is. And I think a lot of these trans athletes, they've dealt with so much scrutiny. They've dealt with so much bigotry from people.
Absolutely.
Like, they do have a chip on their shoulder. They have something to prove.
And rightfully so. And again, sometimes I think these athletes get lumped into the ones that are doing the things that people are not happy with, maybe competing with the girls, the females, but these are trans athletes that are in the men's division and doing exactly what people said they should do.
And Brittany was the first one I saw doing that. And here we see Summer Brady doing the same thing, competing against a very tough guy in Lionell James.
Yeah, Lionel
absolutely cracked her, but she smiled there.
Yeah. Lionel definitely looks like he's got some clean punches.
Yes, and a little bit of the experience showing.
Yeah.
Lionel's been boxing a very long time.
You can tell he's got some good footwork. Obviously, he's got some good speed there. But man, these punches are landing with some power.
Oh yeah, you can hear him firing off.
Big right hand cracks Brady.
Something fell off there. maybe his hair thing,
Hair
something,
tie.
or her hair thing, one of the two. All right, let's go. One thing I noticed a lot of these up and coming fighters, right, is they just keep their chin way up in the air, and that's what Summer's doing now. Is when she's getting hit. This is how you get knocked out when you're backing up. Yeah, see it right there?
tuck it.
And they do that defensively a lot, right? When they're backing up, the chin straight up in the air.
It's that natural instinct. You're trying to get your head out of the way, and you think, "Oh, I'll move backwards." But
Yeah.
you have to understand, they can move faster forward than you can move backwards. That's why you have to cut angle.
Yeah. And if they clip that chin, that's what we're looking for. That whipping action, so it knocks you out. So you got to keep that chin
Brady
hidden.
working that jab now, trying to change the dynamic of this fight. But
There we go.
it's just, she's turning away.
It's just that head being straight up in the air.
You can see an 8 count there, honestly.
Yeah, James is wanting to keep that pressure, establish the dominance going into it.
And we see some blood running
See
down.
if James throws an overhand right here.
Summer
Here it
Brady.
comes.
Oh, that was a slip.
Yeah, bad footwork there.
There we go.
He's getting a little excited. He knows that he smells that knockout. And this is a guy who's looking for a win. He's had a tough couple of fights.
Well, that overhand right's there anytime he wants it. Just because, like I said, the nature of the chin being straight up in the air. So here it comes again.
I'd like to see him set it up with his jab.
I agree, and that's what happened. Once you get a taste of those punches landing, you kind of quit boxing, right?
Flash the jab, then sail that overhand.
Yeah. And that's one thing that newer fighters don't use a lot is the feints and the trickery, right? They kind of, you're either throwing a 1-2 or you're not. And that's sometimes you got to throw those out. And
I think it's an excitement thing here with
It is.
Lionel too. Like Lionel's 8-7. He's had a lot of fights.
Yeah.
But he's not had a win in a while, and he smells it. He sees
he's
my
looking
win's
good.
right here.
Looking good. Let's see how Summer, though, comes back. You know, Summer weathered it.
Tough person there.
And she's tough. And even though those shots landed, she didn't really look that rocked, right? I mean,
Breathing hard there.
Stayed in it the whole time, and I'm, sadly leading with that chin forward. But I mean, hey, it's showing ready to go.
yes, absolutely.
No backing
See
down.
our ring card girl Julia helping her with her hair there.
I'll go with that.
All right, so we'll look for Lionel to come out here with some more 1-2s.
We'll see if Summer can change things in this round.
So right now, Summer's changing her stance, and that's another thing that newer boxers don't need to do, right? Because they're not necessarily good on both sides.
Legs don't look under her at all.
Exactly. So I don't know if that switching stance.
That's her left hook.
Yeah, I've seen that back in the traditional
She
stance.
acknowledges that shot.
Yeah, she's keeping her head on that center line. After he lands that right hand, follows up with that left.
Oh, man, there's that combo.
There's the right with the left.
I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
I will say that was a good punch, but also if you watch it on the replay here in a little bit, there was also a push. And once it landed, he kind of pushed her over.
And that's it, ladies
And
and
there's the
gentlemen.
fight.
And Lionel fired up.
Yeah, and rightfully so after all those fights. Let's watch that overhand here on the thing. That might have been a
A
left.
big left hook. I believe. Big left hook.
Leaving that chin up in the air. That was
And there it is. See that right hand drops, and here comes the left.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Solid.
2-3 from Lionel James. Closes the show. And I'll go talk to that man.
Boom. Yeah, that was solid.
Right on the chin, right on the button.
And truthfully, it was not as much of a push as I thought it was, right? There's definitely a solid shot. He followed through. We'll watch it again here, but it's a solid shot right at
Bam.
Yeah, right in the center.
That left hook. I mean, when you got a fighter that's leaving the head on the center line, throw those combinations.
Yeah.
Let him keep flying. Make him pay for it.
And look how it's just on a pedestal, her chin and her face, and right, you can't do that. And again, it's all new people do that, right? You just kind of lean your head back, you think you're out of the way of trouble,
Right.
and then here they come, And that's exactly what happened there. I would say most of these fights we've watched, the guy that's lost or the girl that's lost, his chin's been straight up, right?
Yeah.
But great fight,
Yeah, we got to see some good stuff out of Lionel. He got to see some good footwork. As Elijah was saying, he hasn't had a win in a while. See how ecstatic he is right now. So looking forward to seeing what his next fight comes out of with that. Coming back with that win over an opponent we know. So
And that's the other. He brought it 100%, didn't he? He was throwing those punches, and they weren't that sloppy, right? He was laying it too. He brought it, right? I love seeing people excited too. Good for him.
Now, that ups and downs, but you fought the toughest guys in the division. How does it feel to get this win right now? I've been expensive and everything. This is hard. It was not available again for me today. So tell me, what's next for you? October 28th. I'll see you there. And this is the people. Good performance.
That's what I thought. Is that a honey bun? But somebody yelled it was. So.
Hey, man, after a fight, after the weight cut, someone hands me a honey bun. I feel like I'm gonna be more excited for that honey bun.
He seems very excited.